need some competition out here. Come on.
Welcome to another episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. I'm your brother, old guy from Hip Hop News Uncensored.
Good, my brother.
Peace, man. We in the building today, and we got a breaking story that's coming through that we got to talk about for the fam today, man. Now, according to YFN Lucci himself, he was actually stabbed on February 9th while in prison by a homemade shake. Now, at the time, he was pretty much on the telephone, and he's pretty much saying that as a result of that, he feels like a bag has been placed on his head. And he is now pleading and begging with the judge to allow him to come home on a bracelet and 24-hour home confinement. Now, we know that he was denied bail at least twice or bond, and he has to sit in prison right now until his trial comes through. So what do you think about this, man? He wants to now come home because he was stabbed while on a telephone call in jail.
I feel a couple different ways, oh God. One, the first thing is, damn, obviously you feel bad that this happened to him. You know what I mean? You don't want to see a situation, and this is why we preach too much. That's why we preach so much, to the people who listen about not going out and doing or following what you hear in these lyrics from these rappers.
Right.
Because a lot of them aren't doing what they're preaching, and what they're preaching is going to lead them either into a box or into a box, and that's dead or alive. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
So don't follow a lot of this nonsense because there's only one or two places to go. Now, in the case of YFN Lucci, when you look at the circumstances behind why he's behind bars, all of it being alleged right now, it's absolutely disgusting, the charges that he's being accused of. And when you look at those charges in the environment that he's in, the environment that he and his lyrics brought up and brought into his physical world as he, you know what I mean, subconsciously put that out there into the world, it is what it is. Welcome to the nature of the beast. Welcome to the environment that you brought yourself into. Another thing that kind of bothers me is, and I can only pertain it to hip hop, and I'm not trying to get on the young brothers or young sisters, but at the end of the day, we see these celebrities and we see them promote and do all this shit and act like they're not afraid or they're invincible to go into a place like that and then cry like a motherfucker when they get in there, or want special treatment from a judge that don't give a damn about what they rapped about or how much money they threw on their arm or on their head, and think that that's going to get them out of a situation. I don't know. Oh, that's my thoughts.
It's a victim here. Obviously, somebody was killed in this situation. There's all types of other allegations. Now, I think that every man and woman should be given the presumption of innocence, like from the door. But you have that one thing that's called evidence that they have, and a lot of times you can say that's proof. Maybe you say it's not proof, but sometimes they got a pretty good picture of what happened.
Right.
If somebody walks up, you're in the house with your girlfriend and you stab her to death, or she shoots you, she got blood on, whatever. It's a pretty good picture of what happened. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that he did what they're accusing him of, but the reason I'm saying that is because some people are held in jail because the prosecution, the judge, and the state has deemed the evidence that they have is enough to keep them behind bars, because if I let this person out, they might be too dangerous to society. Now, I'm not saying that that's him. I'm not saying that that's Pooh Shiesty, none of them. But this is the way the system is. As flawed as it is, this is the way that is put in place. And like you say, you this is your lifestyle. This is the place that you're gonna end up when you perpetuate this type of lifestyle. When you in the streets, when you gang bang, when you're doing stuff like this, this is what happens. Now, he's gonna have his day to fight, and the thing is, like I say, it's a victim here, man. Now, I don't know. None of us knows what happens at the end of the day, but that family is probably like, nah, we don't want him out. You got people on the other side, and that's why I kind of like when people always saying free this person soon as something happens. It's like, that's crazy, dog, because a lot of times these people kill people and harm people, and it's like, would you want somebody to be let out like that? Because in the streets, what happens to people like that? Like, it's that whole eye for an eye thing, and that's one of the things we have to get a handle on, because it's just not a good thing. So like you said earlier, Sam, man, I'll echo what you said. You make your bed, you got to lay in it.
Indeed. And like we echoed on the first round, at the end of the day, you can't assume that these people are going to give a fuck about what you feel when you're in these situations. It has to be a time where you hold yourself accountable and hold yourself to a higher standard, or deal with the consequences at the end of the day, man.
Deal with the consequences, man. And yeah, I would just say this, man, in closing. I don't think that the judge is gonna let him out, because when you look at that environment, like, you might not be the only one that got a banner in your head. It might be, you in fucking Fulton County. We know it's gangs down there. We know that it's Crips, Bloods, and GDs and all that type of stuff. So everybody's a marked man in there at the end of the day when you're in the county jails and stuff, especially where it's like big cities where it's gang affiliations. And we expect the judge to really care about that. The judge is looking, like I said, at what happened, the evidence that they got, because a lot of times evidence comes with pictures, audio recordings, video recordings, DNA, things like that. And they looking at it like, oh, we know what this is already. We got to go through the formalities, but we know the dog. Like, you ain't getting out.
Nope.
There's a reason why they denied this dude bond. And I don't want to see no brother be in jail. You know what I mean? That's the worst place you want to be. But where else are you going to put people that harm people for whatever reason? Now, they got self-defense, but if it's not self-defense, like, you harmed the dude. What are we going to do with him? You going to either give you to let they family deal with you, or you got to go to prison, bro. That's just the way it is. I don't like it. Nobody likes it.
Nope. And to kind of extend on that, and in closing, if you putting yourself as God or whatever people want to believe in, and you taking life out here, and you think you're going to do that without reaping some kind of consequence, I don't know what world you live in, bro, because it's give and take out here to me. You know what I'm saying? I never got anything and didn't have to take, or vice versa. So if you did it, bro, and you sit in that situation, it is what it is, unless you're going to let the streets deal with it, which they ain't going to do. You have to sit in there.
Then it's like, I said this earlier, when you're talking about, this situation, they don't tell you about this in the songs. Some do, some tell you about it, but they don't tell you about, like I said, the loneliness of being in jail, the being in there and having the uncertainty, the crying that men do in there, not being able to eat and being starving at night because, dinner is served at 5. You got to get up at 5 a.m. and sometimes you're not even eating and you can't shower and there's disease and all this stuff is going around. That's the reality of this lifestyle. I don't know why kids think that, okay, I'm a gangbang, I'm going to do all this stuff and end up rich in Miami on a yacht somewhere cooling. Some may make it, but the majority of dudes just end up, like Sandman said, in a graveyard or in a little, 3x6 prison cell, pissing, like my man Beanie said, pissing, gargling the same water you shit.
Come on now.
This is what it is.
It just is what it is, man, at the end of the day.
We ain't preaching, no. Just keeping it real.
Just got to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these people, when they get out of these situations, hopefully they learn better, they know better, and they do better, because if they just run back to the same old shit that they were doing and don't highlight the crying and the weeping that not only did they do behind the scenes, but in front of the camera, begging and pleading to get out of there, then you just ain't a real man and you ain't real with yourself. Because them lifers, and not that I've had the opportunity to speak to many lifers, but the stories that I've had from people that have spoken to lifers, they ain't on this game that when they get out, it's this, that. It's a whole different game. So if you out here,
they wish they never done it.
Exactly. So if you come out of that situation, if you're blessed by the graces of God to be able to walk out that motherfucking hellhole and get a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, and you still out here screaming the same shit, good luck.
Yeah, it was just real quick.
Ain't a
man.
man.
Know what I'm saying? I did a brief stint in the county. It was just one older Muslim dude. I just popped up in my head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna close it on this.
Yeah.
He was like, he said something to the effect like, "You don't belong in here. Don't ever come back in here again." You know what I mean? And you could tell he was old, probably been through the ringer a few times. And, you could tell he just had the wisdom. And that's what you see, like, like you said, I don't know if he's a lifer or nothing like that.
Right.
But it's just like certain things just aren't meant for certain people. And when you get to that point in time in your life, you start getting grazed and getting wise, your story's going to be totally different than it was in your 20s. And I'll just close it on that.
And we're going to close it on that, man. Great
Yes,
topic.
Sir.
On the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast on this Thursday evening. Y'all go ahead and hit that like button, that 5-star rating, wherever you're watching or whatever you're listening. We got a great interview coming your way the next couple of days, man. It's going to be fire. You see the new set. You're going to see a new set on top of the new set. Y'all going to be like, damn, we want this set today. Damn, we want that set today. Maybe we'll go live, oh God, and just have like a special request somewhere on where we're going to do it that day, and then we'll bust it live that day, man. Figure something out. But we got the power to do that here at Self-Made Studios. And we got a lot more to come, man. Sandman,
Yeah.
Viral Hip Hop News, Oh God Hip Hop News, and
Yeah,
Sense
yeah.
Together. We the Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast. Over and out.